I'd like to welcome y'all back to Beyond the Fear podcast, a place where y'all come for motivation, inspiration, uplifting, and positive words. And today's episode is going to be a little different. Today's episode, I really just want to talk about how I feel about the J. Cole apology. And the reason why is because I watched his speech at Dreamville and or wherever he was when he gave the speech, and he talked about how he was feeling and things like that. And I just kind of sat back, watched it, and then I listened to everybody's reactions. And some of the things I agreed with, other things I didn't. But I just wanted to give my reaction and just talk about it from my viewpoint. And let me just start off by saying Kendrick and Cole are two of my favorite, if not my two favorite rappers right now. So for me, am I one of those people who wanted blood that he was talking about as far as like lyrically? Not they. I don't feel like it was ever going to go spill out of the music and get into like physical altercations. But was I one of those people who was excited about them getting into a lyrical back and forth, a lyrical battle with each other and just having a rap battle? Yeah, I was, you know what I'm saying? I won't lie. I was definitely one of those people who was excited about that because I didn't think, like I said, I don't believe that it would have gotten, because I think they were on record saying that they're good friends. So I don't think that it would have gone that far to where it was like real beef. I think that it was just going to be like a lyrical showcase of me versus you, who's better, who can get on these beats and rap better. So was I excited for that? Yes, you know what I'm saying. I was excited about the competition. So yeah, I was one of those people who, using his words, wanted blood. I wanted to see those two go at it, go back and forth lyrically on beats, and and try to one up each other. I was excited for that. So when I heard that he had apologized, I didn't think that it was real. I didn't think that he had really apologized. So when I sat down and actually watched the video, my first reaction was I respect it. You know what I'm saying? Like again, the fan in me would have loved to have seen them go back and forth, do a few songs, towards each other back and forth. But with me being on the journey that I'm on, trying to heal, trying to get to a place of peace, can I respect somebody saying, it didn't sit well with my spirit? Yeah, I can. Now, one thing that I do agree with some of the people who hated the apology and who's saying like J. Cole ruined hip hop. I don't agree with him ruining hip hop. I do agree that the back and forth between him and Kendrick would have put a positive light, or just a light. I feel like it would have been positive, but who knows? But it just would definitely put a light on hip hop, and people would have been talking about the bars and the lyrics and things like that. So I think that it would have put a bigger spotlight on hip hop if they would have actually been able to do it and compete and go back and forth. But I don't believe that he ruined hip hop behind this. I personally don't believe he ruined his career behind this. But like I said, I'm not looking at it just as a fan of Cole or a fan of hip hop. I'm also looking at it from the perspective of someone who's going on his own journey to get right and to get realigned and to find peace and to find happiness. So I also look at it from that perspective, and from that perspective, I can respect where he coming from, because again, I know I've said it on my podcast before, but as someone who's fought hard to get a little piece of peace, you know what I'm saying? You fight so hard for it and you work so hard for it, because it isn't easy to obtain, especially if you living around a lot of disruption and a lot of people not being in peace and not knowing peace and haven't been around peace. We mistake peace for comfort. We mistake those two things, and sometimes we think we're living in peace, but really we're just living in comfort and we're not really at peace. which is comfortable. So as someone who's working hard to gain that peace and to gain true peace and true happiness, I can understand you doing something. And in the moment, it feels right. It feels like this is what you're supposed to be doing. And you have good intentions with it. But then once you're through with it and you finished it, you sit back and it's just like it's not sitting right with you. It's not sitting right in your peace and in the things that you've built for yourself. It's just not sitting right. And I can understand that. So I can understand where Cole's coming from. And I can respect him for coming out on his platform. And even though he knows his fans of hip hop, fans of Kendrick, everybody wanted this. This is what, people have been waiting for a long time, ever since, they've been going, everybody's been saying, oh, I'm the best MC. I'm the hardest one out right now. Everybody been, throwing little jabs at each other. So people have been waiting for this, and for him to just really sit on it, listen to it, listen back to it, release the song, and then to just, you know what I'm saying? And in those 24 hours or however long he had it out, just say, you know what? Nah, this ain't sitting right. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that J. Cole is scared. I'm not going to say he's not scared. I honestly don't know. All I'm doing is taking him for his word, taking him at his word. And again, as someone who's on his own journey, I'm on my own journey to find peace and to find happiness. I can respect somebody saying, you know what, this don't sit right with me. I thought this was the right idea when I was doing it. It felt right. It felt good. But now it doesn't. For whatever his reasoning may be, I can respect it. Now, like I said, if I wanted to dig deeper or to reach or to read in between the lines and, say, oh, well, this is what I feel, this is what I think, then okay, I could see people coming to the conclusions of, oh, he's scared, and oh, he don't he don't want these problems, or oh, he just want to be liked, he want everybody to like him, and whatever else. And again, I'm not saying anybody's wrong. I'm just taking it purely from the perspective of his words. I'm literally taking his words and I'm going off of what the explanation that he gave, and I'm not going any further than that. But I have no problem with it because, man, people got to understand that. And again, I get it, because as fans, these are things that we want. But, we got to also realize that these are people too. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that as fans, we want certain things, but we got to also understand that as fans, these are human beings too. They got lives that they have to live. And like I said, I can completely understand where a lot of the fans are coming from. And they were like, well, if you felt this way, you didn't have to put that music out. You didn't have to put that diss track out. And I think, like, again, based off of what he's saying, is in the moment that he put it out, it felt right. But in the time from him putting it out to the time that he did the speech or whatever it was, however much time was out, however much time had passed, it didn't feel right anymore. It didn't feel, it was bothering him. It was bothering his soul. It was bothering his spirit. And it was bothering his peace. And he felt like he let the pressure of, oh, Kendrick said something. What you gonna do, Cole? What, like, you know what I'm saying? He say the pressure from the world and the pressure from his homeboys. He allowed that pressure to get him out of character, and he did something that he now regrets. I'm assuming he regrets it now. That's why he took it down. And I can understand that, because I feel like we all have been in situations where we allow peer pressure, or we allow the people around us or our environments to get us out of character. And now we're doing or saying things that we wouldn't normally do or say. I feel like that's just a normal thing. It's just unfortunate for him. He's on he's known. So, you know what I'm saying? And he just did something for the whole world to see and to be able to digest, that people got to listen to this song and all of this stuff. And so now everybody's excited for what they think is getting ready to happen. They're getting ready to get what they feel like is going to be at least 6 to 8 songs back and forth between Cole and Kendrick about who's the best. And that's not to even mention if Drake was to jump into it. You know what I'm saying? So we just looking at like it's gonna be a great friendly competition, and maybe we get good music, we get good bars, and then maybe we potentially get a tour out of this. So you know what I'm saying? So everybody's speculations is going wild and they're getting excited. Like, yeah, we're getting back to hip hop, we're getting back to the lyrics, we're getting back to the no, I'm number one. Let me show you why I'm number one. We're getting back to that. And so as fans of Kendrick and as a fan of Kendrick and as a fan of Cole, I'm excited. I was excited, but I completely understand. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he, in his, I guess from his point of view, he allowed the outside pressure to hype him up into doing something that maybe he really didn't even want to do to begin with. You know what I'm saying? And now that he's feeling it and he's seeing it and he's feeling the results, seeing the results, and he's realizing, okay, this don't sit right with me. I mean, call it what you want, call it sappy, call him weak, call him whatever. You know what I'm saying? I can't do anything but respect it because again, I'm not looking any deeper than what he's telling me. I guess if I was to look deeper, I could poke holes in in some of the things that he's saying, but I'm just choosing to take him at his word. And if his word is, it's just bothering me, it just doesn't sit right with me. I've worked. I was in a peaceful place. I was in a happy, peaceful place, and I was content. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm growing, moving along in life. You know what I'm saying? Doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And then Kendrick drops this verse, and now everybody's, looking at me, waiting on me to take the next step, or you know what I'm saying? And that's all everybody's talking about. That's all the internet's talking about is what Drake gonna do, what Cole gonna do, and then he decides to drop his thing, to drop it. Now, like I said, I'll take him at his word. I think that because I haven't been following the situation as closely as some of the other people, but I heard that they had Cole and Kendrick had a conversation like, man, go ahead, talk, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, drop your tracks. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be personal. We just gonna have fun with it. And if that's the case, then I would give a little pushback to Cole. Like, man, Cole, do your thing, especially if y'all already had a conversation and Kendrick know that you're gonna drop. He might not know what you're about to say, but he know you're about to say something, you're about to respond, and y'all about to have fun with it. Because again, like I said in the beginning, I don't think anybody was expecting this to go any further than the music. You know what I'm saying? Because again, they're friends, so I don't think anybody was expecting real beef. So, like I said, I can completely understand why the fans are upset. But again, I guess my perspective is different because I'm not purely looking at it as a fan. I'm looking at it as a fan, and as a fan, I'm upset. But as someone who's going on a journey, and as someone who's realizing how hard it is to find yourself, to find peace, to find happiness, and as someone who's starting to gain bits and pieces of that, I can understand how hard and how devastating and how hurtful and how conflicting it would be to do something because again, you did it. Like we can't, and again, realistically, accountability, you can say peer pressure is what drove you, but at the end of the day, you made the final decision to do it, and not only to do it, but to also put it out. So again, as looking at it as somebody who's on my own like spiritual journey to find myself, to grow, to find peace, to find happiness, I'm looking at it from that perspective as well. And from that perspective, I can completely understand that how doing something like that and it bothering your spirit, you regret it. I can completely understand that. And it's not, and for me, again, from that perspective, I'm taking my fan side of it out. The fan in me, I'm taking out of it, and I'm just talking purely from the perspective of, being on that journey and, doing something that disturbs your peace. I'm purely looking at it from that perspective. I can understand you doing something, and in the moment that you do it, and in the moment that you're putting it out, you think that it's great. You know what I'm saying? You think that it's great. And once you've had time to really sit on it and think about it, it's just bothering you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's on your mind. Like, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Why did I put that out? And now it's just bothering your soul. It's just bothering you. You know what I'm saying? It's putting you in this conflicting mental space. And I can completely understand when he just trying to live a he's trying to live a peaceful life. Now, what I will say is it's tough because I've also heard him, say he one of the hardest doing it, he one of the best doing it. So of course, when if you're in a competitive field, which I feel like rap is, hip hop is, it's very competitive. If you're constantly saying you're the best, then of course there are going to be people who want to test you, who want to see, because obviously if you feel like you're the best and I feel like I'm the best, and consensus is that at the very least you're one of the best, then I know that I gotta go at you to get, what I'm saying, to be the best. To be the best, you gotta beat the best. So if Cole is constantly saying I'm one of the best, and if the hip hop community is saying, you know what, we agree you are one of the best, you are top three, top two, one, wherever you are, then yeah, then people no, okay, he the mountaintop. He's the goal. He's the final boss. And so I think that he's gonna have to do a lot of soul searching to kind of figure out what he's going to do, because I don't know if he's going to stop the bravado of I feel like I'm the best. I feel like nobody can beat me lyrically. When it comes to these lyrics, I'm him. You know what I'm saying? So if that's going to be his mentality, then you got to understand what comes with that. And what comes with that is people taking shots. And what comes with people taking shots is now your fans, now the hip hop community is going to expect a response from you. And so now, you know what I'm saying? I have to watch it a few more times to get a better understanding, because I don't know if he was just saying the route that he took, like maybe he feels like I don't want to downgrade or denigrate or you know what I'm saying, put down Kendrick's career to big myself up. So maybe he's just saying some of the way he went about doing this particular diss track, he won't do that. He won't do it that way again. He'll probably just, I don't know. I honestly don't know how he's going to navigate those waters to where he can do a diss track or do a lyrical back and forth with Kendrick and it not bother his spirit. I guess that's something that only he knows. Only he can figure that out, because only he knows what about the song that he put out bothers him. Is it the idea of the diss track altogether, or was it just the fact that he was tearing down bits and pieces of like certain albums, saying that he put certain Kendrick albums put everybody to sleep? Excuse me. Is he saying that that's what bothered him, was just downplaying somebody who I feel is great, somebody who I respect in the game, who's a friend of mine? Is that the part that he has a problem with, or is it just dissing Kendrick as a whole, period, that he has a problem with? And I guess that's something that he has to figure out, because I don't think that he's going to stop feeling like he's the best, because I don't feel like he thinks he's one of the best. I think that he feels like he's the best. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he's going to stop feeling that way, and I don't think he's going to stop saying it. And I don't think that Kendrick's going to stop saying, "Oh, well, if you the best, let me show you why I'm better than you." You know what I'm saying? Because again, I think it's friendly, but who are we? Who is anybody to say, man, that shouldn't bother you? Nobody has to deal with what Cole is dealing. We don't even know what Cole may be dealing with behind the scenes. We don't know what he's going through, what he's experienced. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what type of traumas he's dealing with? And so for anybody to say, bro, it's just rap, it's just this, we don't know what it is. That's what it is to us. You know what I'm saying? It's just rap. It's friendly competition. It's this and it's that. That's what it is to us. We don't know what it is to him. We don't know what it's doing to him. We don't know if it's genuinely keeping this man up at night. And it could be fear. It could be. I'm not sitting here saying it's not, but I'm just going, like I said, I'm just going to go off of his words. And his words are, I'm in a peaceful, happy place. And doing that, like the pressure, the outside pressure turned me into, made me do something, or it got me to do something that I really didn't want to do. Just trying to respond, or just trying to please the community, please my homeboys. And it just did something to me. And you know what? I did take a shot at you, Kendrick. If you want to take a shot at me, my chin out, take your best shot. And I mean, even people hated that. But for me, again, I'm taking the fan in me out of it, and I'm just trying to have a real conversation, because I feel like some of the things that he was saying was real, whether I agree with him or not. They were real, and I feel like it takes a big person to admit that, you know what, I was wrong. Again, whether you agree with it or not, I'm not here to debate that part of it. I'm just here to say I can understand where he's coming from. I can understand if he feels like this decision is weighing on me way more than I thought it would. This decision is stressing me way more than I thought it would. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it. It's not worth my peace, because I'm one of the people who will say it. I don't think anything's worth your peace, or very few things may be worth your peace. Like, I could hear somebody's story and I can be like, okay, I get that. So, you know what I'm saying? Nothing really is coming to mind, but I'm also not really trying to think too hard about what would be worth jeopardizing your peace. But very few things are. And I don't think that if it's bothering, and again, I don't know this to be true, I'm only taking his word, but if this situation is bothering his peace that much, then yeah, go ahead. And if you felt that apologizing was the right thing to do, then apologize, and just move forward with life. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. I don't feel like he did anything wrong. I don't think he said anything wrong. I completely understand if that's where he's coming from as far as peace. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's soft. I don't think he a sucker. I don't think he none of that. I just think that, again, if he's being honest, he's just a man who enjoys his peace. He just want to come in. He want to rap. He want to be able to pop his mess on his raps, talk his mess on his raps, and his rhymes on his, you know what I'm saying, and go home. And that's all he trying to do. He might not be trying to do the back and forth. And again, taking the fan out, I can respect it. I may not like the fan in me doesn't like it. The fan in me wants the lyrical combat. The fan in me wants that. The fan in me wants the back and forth. The fan in me wants them, exchanging blows lyrically. And you know what I'm saying, and doing their thing lyrically, because I do feel like they're two of the best, and I do believe in iron sharpening iron. So I know that they can come out with some crazy stuff, because I know I know they would have pushed each other to new heights. And I was excited to see where it was going to go, where their lyrical combat was going to take us. So, you know what I'm saying? From that standpoint, I was very excited, because in my mind, I'm thinking, oh man, Cole finna push Kendrick, and Kendrick finna push Cole, and they finna be saying some stuff. We finna get some, like I said, I'm thinking in my mind, we finna get some real good songs. And then, like I said, and that's not to even include if Drake responds as well. So now they about to, all three of them about to push each other. And so we about to really see how lyrical they can be. And I was just excited. I was excited to compare the final songs to the first couple of songs. I was excited to see comparing the final songs to some of their earlier works. You know what I'm saying? I was just excited to get this. So, again, the fan in me completely understands where at least the community, at least the side of the part of the community that hates what he did, hates the apology. I can understand where they're coming from. Now, agree with, I may not be as extreme with the hate and the disgust that they have, but I can at least understand it. But as someone who's on their journey, I can sympathize with them too. You know what I'm saying? And I think that because my journey is at the forefront, because I'm in my journey now, so it's at the forefront of what I'm doing. I think that side of me definitely sympathizes way more than the fan in me hates it. And so, I mean, those are just that's just my honest opinion, and my honest thought on it is literally, I respect it. I respect a man who's saying, this isn't me. This isn't who I'm trying to be. I let the peer pressure and the pressure of fans get me out of character, get me to do something, or at least do something to the level that I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to sit here and insult my friend. I'm not going to sit here and downplay his career. And to me, I think that that's more so what it is. I think it was just the fact that he, in the attempt to please everybody, just downplayed Kendrick. I think that if he just would have kept it, I'm the best, I do this, I do that. And but then again, like I said, I don't know how you I don't know. I don't know. Let me not even try to play how he could try to work it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I felt like once I heard that they had a conversation, him and Kendrick had a conversation about it, I thought it was like, okay, cool, as long as it don't get too crazy, too personal, have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking that this is all it's finna be. It's just fun. It's finna be friendly competition, but it's finna be competition. Y'all finna have some lyrical combat. But even if that was the case, and even if that was the understanding, I can respect the fact that once he did it, once he put it out, he may have felt good about it. Like, okay, I know bro gonna come back and say some things. We finna have fun with this. That may have been his mindset, and then whatever happened, and it was just like, this don't sit right with me, and I don't wanna do this anymore. And honestly, I can't do nothing but respect it. I ain't got no hate, no anger for J. Cole. It's some disappointment, you know what I'm saying? But only, like I said, only fan side of it. There's disappointment because that was something that you wanted to see. It's something that I felt ever since Kendrick dropped that Control verse, you know what I'm saying? I've been wanting to hear him and Cole and Drake kind of go at it in a fun way. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have to get. I don't feel like it needs to get personal. It doesn't need to spill outside of the music into the streets. It doesn't need to do that. It's just lyrical combat, having fun. But at this point now, especially if J. Cole is saying that it's going to cost him his peace, I don't think I want to see it anymore, at least between him and Kendrick. Now, Drake and Kendrick, okay. But Cole and Kendrick, if he really feels like it's going to cause him his peace, then I don't really want to see it, because I don't think his heart's going to be in it. I don't think he's going to give it his all and really go in the way people would want him to. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to do it at the best of his ability, because I think there's going to always be a part of him that's trying to hold back, because he's going to remember this feeling. He's going to remember whatever he's feeling right now that made him say, well, let me go apologize. He's going to remember that. And I don't think he ever wants to feel that again. And I don't blame him, because I don't think anyone who's had to work hard for anything, no matter what it was, wants to feel like, man, I feel it slipping away because of something that I did. So when you've worked hard to find your happiness, to find yourself, to find your peace, and to get your alignment of your life right, you worked hard. That's a lot of hard work that goes into that. You don't just wake up and everything falls into place. You know what I'm saying? It don't work like that. You got to put in a lot of work to get in alignment and to get your life right, and to get there and to find that balance, and all the stuff that he talked about. That's a lot of hard work, and that's a very beautiful thing. And I think that having that compromised in any way, shape, or form because of something that you did is a pretty tough feeling. And I can only imagine how much he was probably kicking himself, because that feeling of losing a piece of yourself, even if it's just a small piece for a second, because of a decision that you chose to make out of emotion or whatever it was that made him do it. So I can completely understand, and I have no problem with him being remorseful. You know what I'm saying? If that's how he feels, that's how he feels. I'm not finna sit here and complain about it. You know what I'm saying? Like your peace should always come first. You know what I'm saying? You got to take care of yourself and take care of your mental health. Mental health is a real thing. So, if he's doing that for himself, man, I can't do nothing but applaud him and respect it. And, and I hope that the fans out there can start to see it the same way. Because again, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being disappointed. We can all be disappointed, but at the same time, we can, what I'm saying, we can still respect his decision. We don't have to like it, but we, what I'm saying, at least respect it, at least understand where he's coming from. And that's where I am with it. I may not like it because again, I wanted to see that, but I can respect where he's coming from. So, man, I'm praying that J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? I hope that the apology, has kind of lifted his spirit, put him back right, got him back in his place of peace. I'm pretty sure him and Kendrick have talked. And whatever happens going forward, I hope that he stays in alignment with who he is. And no matter what he do, whether he responds again, doesn't respond, I just hope he, stays true to who he is, and everything that he does, he's doing it for the right reasons and doing it for himself, not to please others, the fans, nobody. Just do what you do. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I know that this episode is kind of different, but I'm saying I was able to relate it to some things and a few topics that we do talk about, and keeping it positive and uplifting and encouraging people to stay true to who you are and don't allow people to get you out of character. And if they do get you out of character, there's nothing wrong with apologizing just to get realigned, to get back in line with who you are. So, man, do what you got to do to get back to being you and being the wonderful, beautiful person that you are. And I want to say thank you to everybody watching. I want to say thank you to everybody listening to the podcast on whatever platforms you're listening on. And to anybody watching this on YouTube, you'll already know, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Want to keep growing all 2024 and going forward. Y'all have a blessed day.